Yo, 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 yo! And you already know another week. And I'm with my co-host, Two Quay.
What up, people? Hey, America. There's a lot going on right now, man.
Too much.
Before we get to that, shout out to our subscribers. Thank you to everybody that get in the chats, the comments. We appreciate all of it. Thank
y'all. My bad, man. I had that thing bumping too loud, wasn't it?
Hey, man, that's the intro. The intro slap.
Oh, God, man.
This is get you hyped, get you ready. Yeah.
Oh, man. Another week. You already know how it's going down, man. Yes, sir.
We back.
Done with football for the day.
Man, I don't even think about football. That's crazy, boy. I was disappointed today.
Yeah, that's how it be when you got like a team that don't perform well. You just gotta next week.
That was depressing, man. Like I had to go lay down after that.
Got to, man. You just be tired of the bullshit. But other than that, man, how you feeling, man?
Man, I'm good. It's just a lot going on in our country right now, man. Like this past month, the month of September has been crazy. Like
This not
every
even
week, bro.
like this ain't even a campaign, and it's always an October surprise for us. Regardless, it's always something that's like you can be like, whoa.
Every day.
And you already know it's First Game Podcast, Season 3, Episode 25. We live. Ain't no lie.
Live.
Facts, man. Shoot.
We on TikTok too? Or nah?
Nah. I tried a TikTok thing. You know what I'm saying? Got a couple strikes. But I will try it again, though, because they under a new U.S. ownership we'll get into later on. But that's good. That's good for the U.S., man. Shoot, man, we might as well just get into it, man. I wish I had a first thought, but I ain't got one today, man. Man, it's like you said, man. It's been a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
Just like first, it was like with the Charlie Kirk RIP. That happened, and it seemed like afterwards, everything is just still going up.
It's going crazy out here, bro. From
And like
ICE agents to ANTIFA to liberals, like everything, man.
It's more, man. It's like, man, like I don't care what regardless of people say, man. It's like, yeah, you could say Trump is this type of president, but at the end of the day, where is the respect that people had for Trump that had the same respect for Obama? Because there was a lot of people that didn't like Obama. You know what I'm saying? He represented the black people and all that. But where was that? Like, people had to just sit down and respect the fact that our president was black.
Yeah, man. Honestly, I think it's I can't even say it. The conspiracy side of me, man. I think that this is done by design. It's like so much is going on at one time. I think that some of this was caused on purpose.
Hey, but you know
Exactly what it was, but
that's a conspiracy too. That was like they saying that some of these people are basically paid protesters that's
they
out
are,
on the streets.
bro. I've been seeing articles of like pointing out people that was at the Boston bombing, that was at 9/11, like that was at the BLM, like multiple people at different catastrophes. It's like
Weird coincidence. It's like
is it a coincidence? Like like how does that happen?
I don't know either, man. But it's like you hear too many names of uh, Jeff Soros and all that. These guys are behind the scenes, or like the quarter owls. They keep paying for people to make chaos.
Yeah.
It's getting more weird and weirder. But let's get
Yeah.
into the first one, man. Let's get into the first one. Monday, there was a shooting at the ICE facility.
Wow.
What can you tell us from there?
Good morning. There was a massive police presence out here. In fact, we were trying to get over to the scene, but we had to bail off of I-35 just because it was an absolute parking lot. I'm sure Chip's been reporting, and your vantage point may even be better than ours at this point. Empire Central closed at the service road. Again, folks trying to get past this scene on 35. We bailed and came here to Parkland. It is the closest trauma center to this scene, and we can expect that this is where folks will be transported. You can hear probably the sirens behind me. Again, tons of police activity out here as folks race to the scene. As I'm sure Sean just reported, we're talking about 3 people shot who were in ICE custody. A male shooter on the rooftop shot himself when approached by law enforcement. As the rain continues to fall here, I can tell you that very much a fluid situation here, and very much expected that these folks would be brought here to Parkland. We can certainly keep you updated on their condition.
All right, Steve Noviello live there at Parkland. We appreciate that. We also want to check in with David Brown, former police chief in Dallas. He's on the line as well. Former Chief Brown, Sean Rabb mentioned this earlier. I don't know if when you hear this scene or if you've seen any of the coverage here, does this invoke thoughts in your mind of 7/7?
It really does. And thank you guys for having me on. Making sure you can hear me okay.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, it really does bring back those kinds of memories. But yeah, you guys are hitting all the right points when you talk about it. It's just such a live situation right now. You really want to eliminate whether there's any other suspects that's part of this attack this morning on the ICE facility, harming 3 people. So that's one of the top priorities for law enforcement right now, to eliminate any possibility that there's others involved.
And I
feel like we would have heard if they.
I ain't talking about nothing. Let's get to it, man. Hey, on September 24th, a gunman identified as 29-year-old Joshua John from Oklahoma opened fire on U.S. Immigration and ICE Customs Enforcement field office in Dallas. And what authorities are investigating a target attack. The shooter, positioned on a nearby rooftop, fired multiple rounds at 2 transport vans outside the facility, striking 3 ICE detainees who were transported. No ICE agents or staff were injured in the incident, man.
That's insane. And you know what's
Yes.
even crazier about that, man?
Yeah.
Gavin Newsom was calling for ICE to unmask themselves. He also said that the people need to fight back. And then you get this incident right here. So it's like certain figures, certain government figures are calling for violence because because they don't agree with ICE.
It's crazy because like at the same time, that's kind of like, once again, when you got the Democrats that's putting fear in people, then also they're trying to make ICE seem like they some government terrorist group. Like at the same, but I could pull up a clip, but they was saying that these ICE, like, even though these immigrants was getting shot at, or they got shot, they was still trying to protect them. Why? Because these ICE people are officers.
Yeah.
Regardless, they put themselves in danger to save immigrants.
Yeah.
So for you to be having a rhetoric of, oh, these guys, they just bullies and all they want to do is be tough. It's like, yo, these guys actually was trying to save immigrants or illegal immigrants. So cut that. We need, like, if people are talking about language, let's talk about real language. Like, you are still presenting these ICE people as bad people, and they put themselves on the line against a sniper that end up
Yeah,
shooting illegal immigrants.
and and that's why I was saying I was kind of like upset about Gavin Newsom, going out and giving that rant because shortly after that, that's when the sniper attacked, the ICE vehicle,
Yeah.
and so it's like, dang, like should he be held accountable too for
Mm.
inciting violence?
Oh man, it's like you know me. I wish I could put him under that, but at the same time, you can't. First Amendment says you covered freedom of speech, so I can't do that. You see what I say about freedom of speech, like boundaries. There should be an out of bounds line, just like in sports. You can't run in the stands and run back on field. I think that's how freedom of speech should be. It should be an out of bounds line where you can't get out of bounds. You can't go out of bounds to score around freedom of speech. But then again, they might say you some dictator. You talking like a dictator.
Yeah, man. It's weird, man. And then it's even dumb because the person that had shot at the ICE vehicles, they struck some immigrants.
Yeah, they end up
So it's
killing
like,
immigrants.
damn, your plan failed. Like, what was the point? And then they turned the gun on themselves, right?
Yeah, like it's getting crazy. But there was um there was sniper bullets found. People say it's kind of iffy on a sniper bullets because the sniper bullet is written anti-ice on the bullets,
Wow.
and it was raining. It was raining, but it was their marker. So some
Wow.
people feel like that's a that's kind of iffy by itself. People, you got all kinds of people on the left that's looking like, come on, dude, are you really,
I
are
mean,
you really going, goddamn? It's raining, and you really think this guy gonna write anti-ice on the bullets?
you could take a Sharpie marker and write anti-ice on a dry bullet and then put it into the cartridge.
Hey,
You know what I'm
but
saying?
it's just it getting real aggravating because it's like you see this footage right here where
footage we have that a source sent me, and it really shows the chaos that was going on as these ICE agents and detainees are being targeted. This is the transportation van here that was hit by bullets flying everywhere. Agents and detainees inside these vans were then brought to safety inside. And if you wait a second, we'll also get video from inside this facility. So bullets were also flying inside. You see those detainees here. They have handcuffs on, they're shackled, and they're being rushed to safety by one of those ICE agents officers there. He just used his hands to push him forward so that they could get there quicker. And later on in the video, you could see these ATF agents and ICE agents go back outside, and they actually duck behind these vans and bring more detainees inside. So again, this just shows you the chaos that was happening as you have the shooter really firing off in all directions, and really also the bravery of these ICE agents here putting their lives at risk and making sure these detainees are safe. Officials say that the shooter
and then you see stuff like that where, like, bro, these ICE people are just like people like regular, like you, like me. They do their job. They got to come home from a hard day of work. And it's always a rhetoric of these ICE agents, all they want to do is cause chaos. And they just want to knock people around. It's like, yo, they was out there risking their lives for illegal immigrants. What can you say now? What is the rhetoric that you can put out to these guys? Because these guys were trying to save the legal immigrants that was getting shot at. Even, I mean, it seemed like it was an attack against ICE ICE agents. But at the same time, they still was protecting and serving. They don't want nobody to die because they're officers. But you don't really, come on, you don't want to look at that part of these ICE agents risk their life for people that ain't supposed to be here. And you saw on that clip where the ICE shooter used an ICE tracking system.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Damn.
People have made an ICE tracking system. It's more like an alert system for in case they see ICE, they can just, it's sort of like
ICE tracking system. It's like a GPS tag or nah, it's like, let's just say you could open up a GPS program and you'll see where ICE is located on the map.
it's a community lab app for public awareness for ICE presence. So it's probably, it's probably like a Google map or something that somebody integrated into an app where anybody can log on and use it.
Damn.
So somebody probably put an alert out and this sniper used it.
That's insane. Yeah, man, that's crazy though, man. I hate that happened, but that just shows you that there's some people that dislike ICE that much or so misinformed that they go to an extreme extent to try to prove a point. And that just shows you right there that this particular incident that's not always the smart thing to do because it backfired. Your plan was to, I don't know what, take out ICE agents or whatever, but you missed and you took out illegal immigrants. So the plan failed, man.
It's getting weird. Like it's like why can't y'all supposed to be on the side too of loving America? Why is that y'all side of protecting America had to be violating the law, killing people? Why is that have to be on that side? Because you could say we're about to go. Matter of fact, we're about to go over that too.
Yeah,
What they found out with January 6th. Anybody can say anything about January 6th, but the information we found out, or they just found out, you might want to be quiet with that. But going on to the next one, Antifa. Trump is ready to sign Antifa as a
terrorist group.
A terrorist group, man. We about to see this little clip right quick.
We got domestic terrorism going on.
Yeah.
Executive order today targeting domestic terrorism networks and organized political violence. Trump saying the order will work to tackle, quote, anarchists from the left and the groups funding them. The National News Desk, Jeff Harris joining us. The announcement comes a day after that deadly attack that we mentioned at that ICE facility in Dallas, Texas. Jeff, break down what we know about this new executive order.
President Trump says part of this executive order will work to dismantle what he calls domestic terror networks. The administration will be looking into who's allegedly funding these groups, and a joint terrorism task force will chase them down.
In the Oval Office Thursday, President Trump signing an executive order aimed at reining in what he calls a radical left-wing domestic terror network.
These are anarchists and agitators, professional anarchists and agitators, and they get hired by wealthy people.
Surrounded by multiple cabinet members, Trump presenting the order as a way to investigate, disrupt, and dismantle all stages of organized political violence and domestic terrorism.
To dismantle left-wing terrorism, to dismantle Antifa, to dismantle the organizations that have been carrying out these acts of political violence and terrorism.
The order directs the National Joint Terrorism Task Force within the FBI to investigate and prosecute both individuals and groups engaging in acts of political violence and intimidation. FBI Director Kash Patel saying he plans to, quote, follow the money.
People and organizations have collected funds and put them out into the streets of America and organized violence across our country.
Trump claiming he knows some of the people allegedly funding these groups, but was vague when asked who.
You wouldn't know it. You're at dinner with them, everything's nice, and then you find out that they funded millions of dollars to these lunatics.
The executive order comes just a day after the deadly attack at an ICE facility in Dallas, Texas. DHS also stating assaults against ICE officers are up 1,000%. Vice President J.D. Vance saying Thursday rhetoric from the left is playing a big factor.
The Democrats and the media, because they so hate the idea of a real border, are engaging in a kind of blood libel against ICE agents.
What's your comments about that, man?
Well, I don't mean to offend anybody, but I noticed that, like, let's just say if a regular cop is trying to do their job and you interfere with their job, you will most likely get arrested and go to jail or be shot. And so when I see that these people are protesting and they're trying to block ICE from doing their job, they're throwing rocks, they're damaging their vehicles. That's, to me, that's interfering with a federal situation, kind of similar to like a cop, in my opinion. So I think that if ICE starts arresting or shooting back, I wouldn't be surprised, because I don't, we have the right to protest, but the law is the law, and if the law is set for illegal immigrants have to get, deported, or they have to get out of here, then people shouldn't be trying to stop these federal agents from doing their job, in my opinion. It just don't make sense, bro. Like, I'm off on me to catch up, but it just
Oh,
kinda,
no. You got go ahead, bro.
it's just a little weird to me, because I'm just like, damn, bro, like, all they doing is just doing their job, but then you have this group of people that's against it. And I know in America you have the right to be against something, but at the same time, it's like what y'all are against is kind of like holding up part of the process of making this country better.
Mm-hmm.
Stopping these ICE agents from doing their job, or trying to like throw your body in it and stop their vehicles from moving. For one, you're just going to end up getting the short end of the stick.
Yeah.
And then two, it just makes the process longer. I mean, at the end of the day, the law is going to win when it comes to enforcing certain things.
Yeah, I agree with you, bro. It's one thing that's frustrating, that we had a campaign. Both people gave out what policy they're going to enforce or what policy they're implementing. People voted, and they already knew what policy that's about to be implemented. And one big one that everyone was more important about, the security of the border. It get real aggravating when you see people that's talk about democracy, talk about it's being threatened, but y'all are the type of people that's causing all this mayhem. Y'all are the ones who's protesting, but not realizing a lot of people voted for this to happen. A lot of people voted for a secure border. A lot of people voted for getting rid of illegal immigrants. And that's something that you have to respect. It's contradicting to say democracy is is being threatened, why won't you just move to the side when you realize that's what the people voted for? A lot of people voted for this. This ain't no, oh, he cheated. Because if you say that, y'all condemn Trump when he was talking like that. Now you realize he was telling the truth. So it get real aggravating. Because it's like you seeing all these people putting all this bad rhetoric out here that's turning to violence. All because y'all don't like that man. This ain't no, at this point, this ain't no democracy isn't threatened or we're going to lose this, we're going to lose that. No. At this point, y'all just don't want him to do the job that he's there for. And we voted for it. The people voted for it.
I think it's gonna turn violent. I think
It already has.
I think it's gonna turn into ICE using lethal force because at the end of the day, like these people they have jobs and they gotta make it home too.
Exactly. And that's the whole thing that's going down. Like, yeah, these ICE agents were trying to be on the non-lethal part. You see, they got paint guns, they throwing tear gases. Like, y'all not realizing this is a form of military. So when you strike a government official, they're liable to put your tail down and walk away and say, "Hey, that civilian was intercepting government work." They're liable to do that.
I saw somebody get folded by one of them water weapons. It was shooting a fire hose or something. One of those hoses, man. This guy.
Yeah, but then that get aggravating too, because you're gonna have people put y'all remember when they did that? Y'all remember when they did that? Yeah, they did that to the same people us. And so it's like, no, this ain't no racial thing. This is just people trying to protect America. If you supposed to be loving democracy the way that we love it, you should respect democracy too. But we can't get that. We can't even get done. We can't even get past certain stuff because everybody trying to protest.
I'm interested to see how this federal agents in Chicago gonna go. They just got to Chicago not too long ago, and so I seen a couple.
Yeah,
of videos.
federal agents. They ain't ICE. I heard federal agents.
Seen a couple videos of them like walking downtown, deep, super deep. I'm interested to see how this go, man. I know there's people who think that they shouldn't be there, but at the end of the day, man, if this is gonna make the streets safer, make neighborhoods safer,
yeah,
for your normal citizen to live life successfully, then hey, what's got to be done, got to be done.
Facts,
But
I agree with you.
I think it wouldn't be wise for, let's just say, these YNs or normal citizens to like attempt to shoot at or attempt to stop these federal agents from doing their job.
I don't think they own that, man. When I've been seeing all the stuff from people been kind of furious with Mayor Johnson because he's been the one that has like overtaxing people just for immigrants, and they've been calling for a recall for him. So I really think some of the citizens is telling them YNs, you better keep your tail in the house.
Yeah.
Because this ain't the time to be wanting to kill yourself.
Yeah.
Let's get to the next one, man. JD Vance pulled up in Concord, gave his address.
Law and order problem. I said Charlie Kirk's assassination was the most political and disgusting violence that we've had in this country in the last couple of weeks. And that was true maybe until this morning, because I don't know if you all have followed the news, and we're still learning a little bit about it. But what we know is that in Dallas, Texas, an ICE facility, an Immigration and Customs Enforcement facility, was opened fire upon by a violent left-wing extremist, a person who wrote anti-ICE messaging on their bullets, and there's some evidence that we have that's not yet public, but we know this person was politically motivated. They were politically motivated to go after law enforcement. They were politically motivated to go after people who are enforcing our border. And I think that is the most disgusting thing. The very people who keep us safe ought to be honored and protected and praised by Democrats and Republicans alike. It is time to stop the rhetorical assault on law enforcement. Because here's what happens. Because here's what happens when Democrats like Gavin Newsom did say that these people are part of an authoritarian government. When the left-wing media lies about what they're doing, when they lie about who they're arresting, when they lie about the actual job of law enforcement, what they're doing is encouraging crazy people to go and commit violence. You don't have to agree with my immigration policies. You don't have to agree with Donald Trump's immigration policies. But if your political rhetoric encourages violence against our law enforcement, you can go straight to hell, and you have no place in the political conversation of the United States of America. Just yesterday, NBC News, maybe the worst of all the fake news, and I'm sure we have an NBC reporter out there. It's a tough competition, my friends, to be clear. But maybe the worst, I said maybe the worst, is NBC News. And they said that immigration enforcement, you know what they said? That immigration enforcement had detained a 5-year-old autistic girl in order to get to that girl's father. Turned out that story was a complete fabrication. It was a complete dishonest lie. But when you go around and lie about our law enforcement and you tell them that they're mistreating 5-year-old girls, what do you think is going to happen? When Democratic politicians incur doxing, when they encourage us to unmask ICE enforcement officers, what do you think is going to happen? When the mayor of Los Angeles encourages violent protesters to get in the face of our law enforcement, what do you think is going to happen? What's going to happen is political violence, and political violence has gotten out of control in this country. We got to stop it. We got to condemn it. And that starts, unfortunately, at the very top of the Democratic Party. If you want to stop political violence, stop attacking our law enforcement as the Gestapo. If you want to stop political violence, stop telling your supporters that everybody who disagrees with you is a Nazi. If you want to stop political violence, look in the mirror. That's the way that we stop political violence in this country, and we've got to do it.
Yeah.
And while we're all mourning and rooting for and praying for everybody who was injured at that ICE facility, and as far as we know, it looks like some of the detainees, in other words, some of the potential illegal aliens, were some of those who were affected. Look, just because we don't support illegal aliens, we don't want them to be executed by violent assassins engaged in political violence either. So we're praying both for our ICE agents, but also for everybody who's affected by this terrible attack. But that was an ICE facility. And as these guys behind me know, and a few of our police officers know, police officers writ large face too many threats of violence all across the United States of America. And we know where it started. We all remember the summer of 2020 when all of these violent protesters were encouraged to treat police as the enemy instead of as the solution. You'd take 1,000 police officers, you'd find one person who didn't do something perfect and use that one guy to tarnish the other 999 police officers. Well, I would like everybody, whether a Democrat, a Republican, or an independent, especially those in political leadership, can we all just agree that our police officers are heroes, that they are public servants, and that the first and most important step of keeping all of us safe is to keep our police officers safe, because they are the thin blue line.
Yeah, man. I like what he preached. That's the whole thing about it, man. It's just the fact that if we're gonna talk about keeping people respecting the law, we gotta keep that importance. Because right now it's getting outrageous where people are not respecting the law. People are treating the law like they not important to keep the United States safe, and it's getting real aggravating. What you got to comment on? Dang.
First of all, man, I don't know why it look like he got on eyeliner. JD Vance need to fix that, bro. Like for real. But but yeah, man, it's pretty straightforward, man. Like the whole Dallas thing was that was crazy. It shouldn't have happened. And yeah, that's people that's attempting to make a stance,
Yeah.
whether by inciting violence or committing other acts. Wasn't there something else that happened recently? Um, about a church
Yeah. I'm about to get
burning
to
or
the
something
breaking.
like
I'm about
that?
to get to the breaking news. But um, yeah. JD Vance also spoke about um the Charlotte light rail train stabbing of Arenas Ariska, and we spoke about it too. You know, it was a heated conversation, but now the political leaders of Charlotte are trying to push Arenas law, and I was able, damn, I was able to, I was able to hit the streets and ask certain people about Arenas law. So I actually put it in the bigger point.
All
So
right.
let's get to it.
We are on the path to making this a better and safer city. I think that's what everyone wants here. We do have our challenges. I do believe in justice for Irna. She certainly deserved this. So I'm not sure what will come of it, but certainly I hope our political leaders can join together and figure out what we can do to make this a much better, safer city. From what I understand, she wanted to become a veterinarian technician. So that's why I left the little candle and the little puppy dog attached to it. I just know she wanted a better life and she deserved that. So I'm here just to honor her tonight.
This shouldn't have happened in the first place. And I feel like the reason why it does happen is we have these soft on crime judges that release these violent criminals and a mayor that makes excuses for it. And I'm glad it is getting the national attention it deserves, and I hope it stays that way. It needs to make people uncomfortable.
That was the visual of Arenas Ariska. She was a Ukraine refugee that lived in Charlotte, North Carolina in search of a good life. She also went to school to become a veterinary assistant, but to make ends meet, she worked at a pizza parlor. Coming home from her job, she was fatally stabbed by the suspect, DeCarlos Brown Jr. This incident was brought to the national stage because many Republicans wanted people to pay attention to democratically ran cities like Memphis, Chicago, where the crime rate is out of control. But on conservative media outlets, a lot of people was torn between how some of these cities take care of mentally ill suspects and also a racial divide.
And I ain't trying to make it racial, but based on what I saw from that guy and my perspective of him, I can assume that that particular guy doesn't have the resources or the people around him to help him get to where he needs to be to. So, for example, maybe he didn't have money to get treatment, and maybe
Not
he
in a
got in
fucking
public.
a political statement.
By who? Who got a political statement?
Benny Johnson, a lot of MAGA Republicans that's white who feel like they're not getting treated right in this country based on DEI. So when they see a black person do something, they overly hopping on it. Like, why y'all ain't in the streets like y'all was in the streets with Black Lives Matter? Them people.
The true evil of this vicious murder of Irana Zastruka, the Ukrainian war refugee, is us, you and me, for noticing. We noticed, and that means we're drawing attention to it. Trump-friendly social media. Also, the increased amount of security cameras in public spaces, making videos just too easy to share. Insane. Yeah, they found the real enemy. Not the woke activist judges. As I said in this morning's stream, you know, and I got to be really careful when I talk about this because, obviously the guy deserves to go to trial, be found guilty, and get the death penalty, right? That this would be a just result.
Regardless of your perspective about this incident, you just wanted what's right. Justice for this girl. Also a law that back up law-abiding citizens. And also took care of their mentally ill suspects. So Republicans of Charlotte were pushing for a law, a more improved law called the Arenas Law. The Arenas Law is the House of Bill 307. It's a comprehensive criminal justice reform bill that was passed by the North Carolina General Assembly. The bill passed in the North Carolina House 81-31 on September 23rd, 2025. These are the provisions of the Arenas Law. Expanded definition of violent offenses. This broadens the term to include any felony where assault or the threat of physical violence is an essential element. This applies to both prior convictions and current charges. Stricter pretrial release guidelines limits the judicial and magistrate discretion for defendants charged with violent offenses, presumes detention for repeated offenders, eliminates cashless bail for many crimes. First-time violent offenders face heightened scrutiny. Mental health evaluations mandates evaluations for defendants with histories of mental illness or substance abuse, aiming to address root causes like those potentially involved in Zariska's case. Death penalty reform, speed up post-convictions appeal in capital cases, allows alternative execution methods. If lethal injection drugs are unavailable, potentially resuming execution after a nearly 20-year hiatus due to legal challenges. Magistrate accountability modifies procedures for suspending or removing magistrate who failed to follow pretrial guidelines and adding oversight. I was able to hit the streets and get interviews from people how they feel about this bill as well.
I don't support anything criminal, wrong, and people need to live because they have a long life to live, and people have things that they need to go through in life where they need to accomplish things, but humanity overall is important for the world.
The law requires mental health evaluations before releasing suspects with violent histories. Do you think this will make communities like Charlotte safer, or it is more of a Band-Aid for deeper issues?
I'm gonna have to go with both. I think it'll make it safer, but what's to say they release somebody that may seem okay in the moment, but they get out and they're still dealing with mental health issues later on down the road, which makes it unsafe. So I have to go somewhere in the middle, I'll say.
It might be a Band-Aid, but it's a good start to solving those issues if suspects are released only after a mental health evaluation. It depends on the crime, of course. I think the law pertains to violent activity, So ideally, the full punishment is handed out just based on what that crime is. But requiring a mental health assessment would essentially disallow those criminals back on, or those people with mental health issues altogether. So yeah, I think that's probably the best or a good start to solving the problem. I haven't thought about it too much after that, but that sounds, I don't know too much about the law itself, but that sounds like a good start to me.
Okay. Do you support Arena's law to push in cashless bail for violent crimes, or do you worry it could unfairly burden low-income defendants?
I feel like it can, and it is going to affect low income. I feel like the way they're acting on the train, I feel like, and then them not letting a lot of low income people on the train, that's causing more trouble. If you
can't change for stuff that already happened, but one thing you can do is improve the law for people like us, regardless if you red, blue, black, white, you are a law-abiding citizen. But cities like Charlotte, we do have mentally ill suspects that need to be taken care of. So the Arenas law is a good start to bring accountability to judges and also to the people who run this city. Until then, next time, this is the bigger point. Yeah, man. Hey, man. Hey, this, hey, can't really do too much. You know what I'm saying? You can only just hope for the best for all this situation and all this chaos.
Yeah, man. I hope whoever needs help gets the help they need.
Facts, man. This ain't on no, we want to see you in jail. Everybody want the best. I don't care who you is. Everybody want the best for you, bro. If you out there to suffer from mental issues, go seek help.
I came across a post I wanted to read.
Yeah.
This page is stated. It says that Charlotte has become one of the most corrupt, Democratic controlled cities in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Our newly I can't even read today. Forgive me. Our newly indicted Democratic Charlotte City Councilwoman, Tawana Brown. She frauded the government for pandemic relief funds with her daughters. Then she spent some of the COVID relief money to throw herself a $15,000 birthday party with a throne and a horse-drawn carriage. This is the woman who was elected after getting out of prison for serving 4 years on federal fraud charges. Charlotte, you deserve what you vote for. May is arrested on bribery charges, a councilman participating in the Charlotte riots, and now this gem to add to our own crown. Not now, it also says, not to mention the closed door deals with the mayor, Vilaus, and the chief of police at CMPD. Charlotte has become one of the most corrupt Democratic controlled cities in the country. That's what somebody said. I saw this post, and I kind of agree with him, man. But I think Michigan is a little bit more. I think Michigan is a little bit more corrupt over there. Also, I'm just going over some local news real quick. There was a body found in a landing gear. Did you hear about that on the American Airlines plane?
Nah, I
In
ain't
Charlotte?
hear about that one.
Bruh, that was a stowaway found dead in the landing gear of the American Airlines plane in Charlotte.
Wow.
They don't have the identity and all of that, but that's the news that just came out.
Mm-hmm.
And then another one, just one more. It was a 37-year-old trans woman that was found shot and dead at a hotel. in Charlotte, and then the guy that was the suspect, he was later found shot at a separate location. So it's like, man, every day is something going on in Charlotte,
Do
bro.
you feel like Trump should bring the truth this way? Because we locals.
Um, no, not really. Um, because I don't. I mean, hell, like, I don't. I can go to the store. I can go shopping. Like, it ain't no violence is out there stopping me from, living the life I want to live. So, no, I don't think that that's needed in Charlotte. Because I don't see enough violence in my day to day life to be like, damn, we need a National Guard here.
Well, I understand that, hey man. But me, man, I done lived here for so long. I want this place to be safe, man. And it's not even on some me just trying to spread control around here. It's just the fact that you continuously see the type of political leaders that are running this city, and you get the same result again, and again. Then they throw their hands up like they ain't got no plan. Nothing can save this city. I'm just wanting somebody to try to save this city.
Nah, we don't need no National Guard in Charlotte. I don't think it's enough going on in our day to day lives to feel like we need National Guard presence in our streets.
I mean, you don't see that, but you got people uptown shooting that ambulance.
I mean, yeah, that's dumb, but still, I just don't think it's enough going on to feel like you can't go out, as opposed to like somewhere maybe like Chicago or something where there's like countless murders and stuff like that. I just don't think that Charlotte need a National Guard.
Yeah, I
It sounds
mean,
cool, but now I think it's a different issue. Like, yeah, we probably need better police, better leadership, but I don't think that it's bad enough that we need to be patrolled by the National Guard.
true, man. I mean, some people don't. Some people don't think they don't need it. So other people think different, man. I just want to, I just want to get it to the point that we don't at least get the crime rate down, because you starting to see shootings all the time uptown, and that's me living in Charlotte and from Charlotte. I would never expect to see anybody dying uptown, anybody shooting uptown, and that I felt like seeing that would be my like that would be my indication that crime is getting too worse to me. But let's get on to the next one, man. Hey, man, let's get away from this political news right quick, man. Let's get some goddamn conspiracy going on. Hey,
Word.
we got a video of this
What
TikToker.
the fuck is that?
Exactly. It's a TikTok. I forgot his name, King Panama, something like that. And he found this sort of creature. Shit.
Guy claiming he has a live alien specimen, just casually posting footage of it like it's no big deal. Some fans are going nuts, convinced this is proof we're not alone. Others are screaming hoax. Critics say the creature doesn't move like something extraterrestrial. Maybe it's a fungus, an insect, or someone messing with filters. It has echoes of the Panama meteorite story, where an object supposedly from space was claimed to grow alien-like goo, only for skeptics to point out fungal growths and mismatches. So here's the debate. Is this a genuine specimen from somewhere beyond Earth, or just another viral hoax meant to get clicks and believers? A video is...
You heard the question. What you think that is, man? You think that's something that's fake? Or you think... Because there's more clips of this thing.
Do we have any more clips?
Yeah, we got more clips of it, man.
I feel
pull it
like
while you talk.
I seen this in a movie before, and I really did, bro. And that substance, it can, if it touches you, you can get sick. It can, it may can even control you. Um, I think it's real. I don't think this is a cap or a conspiracy. I think this is a real thing. Um, especially after seeing that UAP dodge off the Hellfire missile. Yeah, I'm convinced that there's some other things here.
I'm not. It just
Whoa,
yes. It can swim.
it's swimming.
Yes.
Oh,
Let me show you why the meteorite, or let's just say the potato that was found in.
It's
wow.
that don't look.
Okay, so this meteorite in Panama is fully turning into an alien. Dude's literally growing venom. I don't know why.
So, you know the TikTok.
Yo,
remember?
Man, let me try this one. I'm just saying, man, it's just the fact that, man,
Wow.
I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like,
We have what appears to be the last.
I don't know what to tell you, man. To me, it don't. To me, I like Marvel, and if this sort of thing is real, at this point, bro, we probably do got a secret society of superheroes that's waiting to come out.
And final message from Kin Panama, along with some of the clearest and most convincing footage of his creature.
All this got out of control. I did not have the proper precautions. Samples sprinkled in the world a meteorite. I do not know the whereabouts of this thing inside my pond, inside the fish tank. You know where K25 is. I made it public and you have to be clear that it is there. If someone asks where is K25, you already know where. I let them know. Take care of yourselves. And I love you all. It has been a nice experience to interact with you, to see how K25 evolved over the days, and I really liked that you were there, every day, waiting for me to upload a video. I love you very much. Take care, and hopefully someday you will see here, 25. I have always loved to put my stories, the people putting K25 into artificial intelligence, images or drawings and videos that give me laughter and are interesting. Something does not necessarily have to come from outside to destroy the planet. If we ourselves are destroying it with radiation, pollution, and unnecessary wars, well, I say goodbye. Take care of yourselves.
Wow. Kin is such a Chad. And I think what he was trying to say was that you shouldn't be in fear of some nasty-looking creature from outer space destroying.
First of all, why is he saying goodbye?
Yeah, you got to go in the rabbit hole with this one because they said you could see. I don't know. They said his eye, like you saw one part of the video that his eye was good. Then they said another video that he had like a black dot on his eye. So the thing probably could have latched on to him and got him talking, got him speaking on some symbiote thing.
Yeah, I'm convinced that that's real. I'm not convinced that the media hasn't put that out yet. They're probably doing their research, the things we saw in the movies. But yeah, man, there's other species here on this planet, and they will start being revealed.
Thanks, man. I don't know what to say about it. Let's get to the next one, man. I ain't about to fuck around with it. Somebody shut this down. Hey, man, the UN shuts down a telecom that was in New York. Let's hear about this.
Secret Service has identified and dismantled a massive threat near the United Nations. The agency found what's described as a hidden telecom network consisting of thousands of illicit servers and SIM cards. Investigators say it could have blacked out cell service, jammed 911 calls, and plunged the entire city into chaos. And we've been warned about this for some time, Dan.
Yeah, Fox team coverage. Lucas Tomlinson is live outside the UN with a preview of the president's address. But first, CB Cotton has the details from our New York newsroom. Good morning, CB.
Good morning, Dana. Yeah, the Secret Service says this telecom threat was uncovered as agents investigated telephone threats directed towards U.S. government officials. The investigation led them to a chilling plot that, yes, could have crippled New York City's phone lines, data networks, even emergency channels, with world leaders now here in New York City for the United Nations General Assembly. The investigation began this spring, and agents raided multiple locations within 35 minutes of the UN, seizing hundreds of servers and more than 100,000 SIM cards, tools capable of blasting out 30 million anonymous texts per minute, enough to flood and shut down critical systems. The special agent in charge of New York City's field office sharing the potential danger this telecom network posed.
Encrypted, anonymous, which means that it could theoretically text the entire nation in 12 minutes. So that's problematic. Not to mention all the other things, taking out cell towers, denying services, and criminal organizations and foreign governments using it to run their organizations.
Agents stress there's no sign that the UN General Assembly itself was targeted, but the Secret Service says early findings show that some of the seized SIM cards are tied to foreign actors and criminals already known to federal law enforcement.
Yeesh. Once again, man.
That was a beautiful, beautiful story about CB Cotton. She did a fantastic job. But yeah, man, this is a serious thing. You know, there have been a lot of cyber attacks over the past couple years, and everything is so technologically based, you know, from like our internet to cell towers to just everything is connected. So if someone has the capability of, let's just say, hacking a telecom system, they can control what calls get made. Like, for example, the guy said that, you know, you can't call 911. You can create a lot of chaos when you jam communication systems. And the conspiracy side of me thinks that this would be, I could see if this wouldn't have got caught, I think I could see this being used in Michigan with the Muslims. Let's just say if those Muslims wanted to attack Minnesota, or or Michigan, what was it, Dearborn, Michigan? Like, anyway, that whole area.
Michigan.
If they wanted to make some attacks, then if they could use that device we just saw to jam communications, turn off the internet, turn off people's phones. You can't call 911. You can't upload videos of what you're seeing, you know, going on in front of you. So, yeah, man, I'm glad that was caught and, you know, dealt with, because that is a very, very dangerous thing if it gets in the wrong hands.
Thanks, man. Hey, it's starting to get, hey, we starting to have the domestic terrorist groups come out and play. That's what you're starting to get. And that wasn't the only thing that happened to UN. Trump gave his address there, but it was also the fact that when the escalator stopped at a certain point. It was kind of like a security threat. But I think when he was about to give his speech, the prompter didn't work. So it's like, it's some high advanced people out here that's causing disruption. That could be just a message towards Trump. Who knows? But it's starting to get real spooky on the fact, like, they out there and they watching at this point. And it's like, it's time to buckle up. because we don't know what's the next thing. If they can easily make this small disruption, what else they can do?
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's what I said. That's why I started this part off by saying there's too much going on, man. um, yeah, I'm glad they got control of that device, man, because that could have got ugly.
But he went.
Imagine you trying to report a crime and you don't got no cell phone service.
Facts. And he told that speech. He went in. He was talking about immigration. He was talking about foreign policies. He was letting some of the GDP. He was letting some of the GDP people know that some of y'all need to put in more money for the NATO. Like, he just went in. He was telling y'all need to stop. He was telling people for UK, like, y'all need to stop trying to violate people's freedom of speech. It was crazy now. This whole thing was crazy that went down last week.
Yeah.
But let's get down to the next one. Speaking of freedom of speech, speaking of freedom of speech, Jimmy Kimmel was restored. Rightfully so. It was rightfully so. ABC, I don't know, it's because of the liberals saying that they don't want to be, they want to unsubscribe from Disney. Who knows? But he was let back on. He didn't kind of give an apology, but it was kind of like a key moment to focus on freedom of speech. A lot of people felt like that Jimmy Kimmel, what he said wasn't that bad to get him knocked off of air. Some people were saying, yes, what he said was bad. But the whole thing, the whole focus was on how the FCC chairman did kind of make a threat out towards ABC on making it, you better, you can do it the hard way you can do it the hard way or the easy way. And some people was like, yeah, you talking, why are you making those type of threats, or you trying to put some pressure? Isn't that the same thing what Biden did, or the last administration did towards C-19 accusations? So that's what's going down now. Well, that's what went down like a week ago. Google admits it was Biden was doing big tech censorship, and they're restoring YouTube accounts that talked about C-19.
Speech is returning after some serious Biden-era censorship. Google is bringing back YouTube accounts banned for political speech and so-called misinformation. It's the latest tech giant to admit that the Biden administration was pressuring that company to remove certain content, and other companies. Google sent a letter to House Judiciary Chair Jim Jordan stating that White House officials, including Biden himself, created a political atmosphere in order to dictate how it moderated content. That sounds like a command and control situation over there at Google. Was it? Here's constitutional attorney Jonathan Turley.
There was extensive censorship, not just on COVID issues, but other issues. Even jokes were being censored at the demand of the Biden administration officials. And this is part of censorship. It creates an insatiable desire, an appetite. And these companies found themselves overwhelmed. It snowballed.
The Wall Street editorial board with a headline, "When the left censored speech." Full stop. Yeah, exactly. Here's part of the article. The outrage flowed righteously on the left when the Trump administration pressured private companies to suspend anti-Trump television host Jimmy Kimmel. The Biden arm twisting was more insidious because it stayed out of public view. Perhaps the White House had a guilty conscience, though more likely it didn't want voters to know. Wasn't that interesting? In focus now, Republican Senator John Cornyn of the great state of Texas. Your thoughts on all of this?
Well, censorship is always a slippery slope, but we saw during the Biden administration that beyond censorship, there was an attempt to cancel people who tried to offer different opinions. The solution for speech that you don't like is more speech. It's not censorship. It's certainly not having the government tell us what we can listen to and what we should believe. That is the rule in authoritarian countries that essentially are police states and not the United States of America.
Yo, man, it's just the fact when I see that, it, you know, you do hear people say that, oh, this country is a joke because you're starting to see freedom of speech at crisis. You're starting to see that people are starting to pull back on you can say anything at any moment. The way I look at it, man, it's like there's going to be a time when freedom of speech does get violated when you have that sort of power in the government at the end of the day. Because it got to put some type of mind control. They got not mind control, but they got to have some type of control over rhetoric. You see what freedom of speech is kind of doing right now towards people with this violence. Like, I think it's more of a control thing, but that's just my opinion. But my opinion on this story, man, is like, hey, true wrong don't make it right.
Yeah, I think they just need to leave it alone. Free speech is free speech. Don't touch it. Just leave it alone. I like the fact that I can say what I want to say. I understand certain stuff lead to consequences, but I don't want my dialogue or whatever I say to be monitored.
True. It just, I mean, it's getting wild for a certain point, man. It's like, okay, the whole C-19 for like blocking people for that is kind of more contradicting to the side of censorship, because it's like later we starting to find out that I ain't gonna go in C-19. No, I ain't C-19.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I thought we was done with politics, bro.
I ain't gonna go in C-19, man, because if I go in C-19, I know YouTube or Google gonna knock me off. I ain't got time for it, man. I'm not gonna go with C-19. I'm just saying, I'm looking at the fact that, I'm just gonna look at the fact that, yo, freedom of speech is starting to get questioned because it's starting to lead to certain bad things. It's starting to make people feel like they can say anything. Now, what are we going to do with false information? That's totally false. Like, let me say, I put down some rhetoric saying that people with dreads kill people.
Man, that's on your stupid ass if you believe that shit. That's just where I'm at with it, bro. Like I'm over it. Like I'm just like, in my opinion, I'm like, just leave freedom of speech alone. I like being able to say what I want to be able to say. If your ass get offended by it, then that's on you. Like that's how I feel about it.
Facts, man.
Yeah.
Let me get to the next one, man. Let me get to the next one, man. This one is a crazy one right here, though. That just, came out. The FBI had 274 plainclothes agents embedded in January 6th. The FBI acknowledged that 274 agents in mass crowds on January 6th, more than 4.5 years ago. Questions was it raised about FBI involvement, Blaze learned. This article was cited an unarmed senior Congress source familiar with 50-page FBI after action provided an oversight committee. This closely came ongoing as investigations the FBI rolled today, including scrutiny from Representative Barry Lardmill, chairman of January 6th Select Subcommittee, who was vowed to probe whether FBI informants were present to investigate. This report disclosed as addressing long-standing questions about the Bureau's presence through the source long aligns with FBI practices for counter services at large events. Wow. I mean, Tucker already, covered this. A lot of people should already be informed with how J6 was an orchestrating event. It's still more and more coming out. That day when I saw these people was at the Capitol doing crazy stuff. I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't even a MAGA then. I was a straight up Democrat looking at that like, yo, these white people crazy. But then now you starting to see that this was an orchestrating event with the FBI corrupted. And I'm looking at it like, yo, like, it's starting to get to the point that you are like, it's hard to believe what you see. It's hard to believe anything what comes online because it's like, yo, is this truly it? Is this truly or something that I can believe?
Man.
I don't know either, man. It's this whole bunch of it's just a whole bunch of lies, man. It's like at the end of the day, bro, like, what's this sort of thing was to try to, make MAGA people look bad, make Trump not be able to get back in the office so you can orchestrate a big ass like chaos to make people say, oh shit, MAGA trying to take over the country. It's just alarming, man. And it said, because there's a lot of fact checks in this, man. Okay, in December 2024, Department of Justice Inspector report explicitly, we stated we found no evidence. They said we found no evidence material or review testimony. We received no showing suggesting the FBI uncovered employees. Was in various protest crowds on January 6th. These are fact checking around here. They're trying to say the Blaze article is false. Well, damn.
That's what I said, man. I don't know, bro.
I don't know either, man. Let me get to the next one. But other than that, with the Russia thing, I ain't gonna do it. But I just know I listened to Glenn Beck. I listen to, I listen to a lot of people that's Blaze Media. And, I came across this article and I felt like it was good to point out. But I also know that is allegedly, might as well say allegedly, that is a conspiracy about January 6th, that these people did not cause that mayhem. But other than that, let's get to the next conspiracy. Comey was indicted. We're going to hear from this clip.
David Spunt, he now has new details for us now on the charges. What can you tell us, David?
Yeah, so this coming from some sources that are involved in this. We're told that a false statement charge and an obstruction of justice charge. There were 3 that were brought before the grand jury, and the grand jury handed up an indictment on 2 of those. So this is relating to false statement and obstruction of justice. I want to say alleged false statement and alleged obstruction of justice. We don't know what this means as far as any sort of timeline is concerned. We've reached out to Mr. Comey's attorney, have not yet heard back. This is all breaking right now, waiting for some reaction, presumably from the Justice Department. It's interesting, Jillian, that President Trump was asked about this twice today in the Oval Office. And early he said that he didn't like the former FBI Director Comey, and he said he has a right to be involved, but he lets them handle it, essentially meaning the Justice Department. Attorney General Pam Bondi said that she could not comment, and this was as the grand jury was still underway and still deliberating. So this was a deliberation that happened today in Alexandria in Northern Virginia, and this now has resulted in two charges here, obstruction and false statements. But we are waiting to get the actual paperwork to read the specific allegations, which I'm sure Professor Turley will want to look at too, to see where they're saying that those alleged false statements and obstruction was taking place. Jillian.
All right, thank you for that, David.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox.
Shit. Trying to pull it up to see, but
Dang.
what
happened with him?
Well, basically around the time of the Russian host, he gave a statement saying that the information that he found with the Russia hoax, well, with Russia interfering with the election, was true and accurate, and it was very substantial information. So basically, that's what the indictment come in. I guess false perjury, or perjury and false perjury, and they're trying to. Hey, when you know when you get indicted, you coming in. So basically, James Comey, once again, I'm sure James Comey was, when James Comey was the head, was he the head of the January 6th? I'm not too sure, but.
I don't even know.
It's just the fact that he done gave out too many statements saying that, with the with Russia getting involved and the fact that he lied about authorizing FBI officials to leak information to the media as well. So at this point, man, when you at a certain, when you got some clearance, right, bro, you got some clearance, but you can't do some certain stuff, bro. And it will come back around. But this is his but this is he actually gave a reaction to it. My bad. He actually gave a reaction to it. And this is what he said.
Former FBI Director Comey on the indictment. Let's take a listen.
My family and I have known for years that there are costs to standing up to Donald Trump. But we couldn't imagine ourselves living any other way. We will not live on our knees, and you shouldn't either. Somebody that I love dearly recently said that fear is the tool of a tyrant, and she's right. But I'm not afraid, and I hope you're not either. I hope instead you are engaged, you are paying attention, and you will vote like your beloved country depends upon it, which it does. My heart is broken for the Department of Justice, but I have great confidence in the federal judicial system, and I'm innocent. So let's have a trial.
We've just learned his arraignment will be October 9th.
He said he not scared, man. Hey, at this point, man, I'm at the line of, if somebody don't go into jail, it's not going to look good for this administration on who's telling lies and who's trying to use the law to weaponize on people. At this point, if nobody don't go to jail, it's going to look bad. It's going to look bad on Pam. It's going to look bad on Patel. It's going to look bad on all of them, because it's like that man going to walk away free, scotch-free, and he's going to get a, I told you, all this is for revenge.
That's crazy.
Let's get to the next one. You do know the breaking story you just put up. Let's hear about this one, man.
and now Burton areas just north of the Metro Detroit area. I'm going to step out of the way. I'm sure you've heard by now there was a mass shooting at the Church of the Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc Township. 10 people were shot. 1 is dead. The shooter also shot and killed by police. What you're looking at right now is a map of where that church is, again in the Grand Blanc Township area. There were people inside of the church when all of this happened. The suspect rammed his vehicle through the front doors of the church, got out, and then started shooting. You're now looking at video from the scene here. Again, 10 people were shot. 1 was shot and killed. 2 or 3 others are in critical condition. On top of the shooting, though, this suspect, a 40-year-old from Burton, also started a fire inside of the church. And unfortunately, we got an update from the Grand Blanc Township Police Chief. He said they are expecting to find more victims of the shooting and or of the fire once the investigators can get into areas of the church that they originally couldn't get into because that fire was ongoing. We did talk to the chief about what the next steps are, and that is getting a search warrant and getting into the victim's home. The suspect's home.
So we have investigators. We're going to do search warrants on the suspect's residence. We're going to find out if there was a motive. We're going to go through cell phone records, things like that. We had FBI, they're devoting 100 agents to this area because, as you can imagine, there's a lot of witnesses that were within the church, and that is a lot of witness information, statements that we have to obtain.
All right, now back out here live. We are not actually at the church. We are near the suspect's home. Now, we have confirmed through sources that there were IEDs found inside of the suspect's vehicle. And now here outside of the home, as they get that search warrant and a way to go inside, the Michigan State Police bomb squad has shown up. In fact, photographer Marty is behind the lens here. If we can zoom into the back of that truck, you can see a robot is now being offloaded.
Wow.
That'll be one of the tools that they will use to go inside of the suspect's home to see what's happening there. It is a very safe.
It's getting crazy, man. It's getting crazy. Check out what you about to say.
What I gather from some of this story, and this is breaking news, but there was a man that drove his pickup truck that he was carrying 2 big USA flags on the back of his truck and ran it into the church. Next, there's reporting of people getting killed, getting shot at in the church, and then also somebody set a fire in the church. It's too much going on, bro. I'm just like, bro. And it's in Michigan.
But check out the shit I just pulled up from the information of the gunman. The gunman name is Thomas Jacob Sanford. He's a 40-year-old resident of nearby Burton, Michigan. He was an Iraq veteran who served as a Marine Corps sergeant from 2004 to 2008, including deployment on Operation Iraqi Freedom in 2007, where he earned several medals. He was a 2004 graduate of Goodrich High School. He was later honored as a veteran alumnus. He worked as a truck driver for Coca-Cola. He was married, and he had at least 1 young son diagnosed with congenital hypercynism. It's a rare genetic disease requiring multiple surgeries as causes significant family financial distress. Sanford was also an avid outdoor hunter, as evidenced by his social media activity. Right now, we got no motive. He was fatally shot by the response of by responding officers during the exchange of gunfire in the church. What the? He was a fucking coke driver.
And it was a Mormon church. I'm just like, bro, what? This dude was a truck driver.
He was a coke
veteran.
driver. He was a coke truck driver. You know he was stressed.
Damn, that's crazy. That
you know
sound like
he was.
them. I don't even know what to say because I don't. I mean, that sound like a conservative, but I ain't gonna like. I ain't gonna say nothing. He's a
Um,
veteran. He had flags on his truck. He
okay,
he worked. He was a
let's
truck
say
driver.
let's say let's say if it was like a conservative guy, what what does it mean for the conservative issue? What that mean just for people crashing out on the conservative side? It just is mental illness should be the more highlighted issue.
Yeah, man. Um, People out here going through a lot. Everybody don't know how to correctly express themselves or find relief from what they're going through. So
I agree.
I can only imagine what it's like to be a veteran who fought in war, come home. You trying to live the American dream. You try to have a family. You try to go to work, and then you have a child that has a condition to where it's like they're constantly getting surgery, so you're under financial stress,
Hmm.
and you working for Coca-Cola, so
You,
finances,
you already
finances,
know that deal. You already
you
know
know what
that
I'm
deal.
saying? Like that's a stressful job in itself, and you're not around your family because of delivery. So it's just like he could have been at his boiling point, at his breaking point. So I don't know if this is a political thing yet. We don't
Yeah,
know yet, but I'm sorry that this happened to the people that was affected, and
for real.
we shall find out, more, and so within the next couple of days.
Facts, man. Like when I heard his occupation, I don't really have no motivator, big dog, because it's like at this point, like I don't know what caused the man to do this. I don't have countless of truck driving jobs, and never wanted to crash out, literally. But all I can say, prayer to out to that people, prayer to his family, and also to the other people family that had to go through like hearing that they loved ones was in this type of violence. At this point, like we do need to put the rhetoric aside of who's crazy and who's not because anybody can crash out at this point.
And meanwhile, people, this just happened, so we gonna get, you know, more news, more facts about what's coming out because for one, they saying bro had IEDs in this car. Like, why the fuck you got IEDs? Like, yeah. This story is fresh, man. We're gonna have more stuff coming out because I gotta find out what's going on. I
Facts,
gotta
man.
find out what happened, bro. Like, come on,
He
dude,
was
done
an
ran into
'08
a
graduate
church.
and stuff like that. Like, man,
Church on fire, done shot people. You an ex-veteran. You was in the Iraq War. You work at Coke.
hey,
Like, man, it's too much going on,
hey,
man.
hey, what you say on that one episode? If I was the devil, if I
Man,
want to
look,
destroy America, I would go for the churches first.
hey,
I
look,
make you feel
man.
like the church ain't safe no more.
I ain't one of those people who say I told you so. But if you just go back and look over some of that stuff, I feel like I helped usher in a warning to like what's to come.
You talked about it now. You talked about it.
Because everything has that was going on in that episode has pretty much been happening right in front of our eyes, whether we want to agree or not. And I get it. Some people might not understand it. Some people might not believe in it. Some people might think that, it's cap or whatever. But
Yeah.
spiritually there's a lot going on. Um People are dying every day. The types of ways people are dying is getting crazier. And
Fact.
this is one of those times where you just got to be prayed up, man, and you just got to take care of yourself, take care of your family, be aware of your surroundings, and just try to be the best person that you can be, even though you may not agree with somebody else's ideologies. That don't mean you got to kill them. That don't mean you got to like harm them because y'all don't agree on the same ideologies. Like, it shouldn't get to that point. But one day, this will all be over.
Okay. God damn.
Oh man,
Final thought, man.
Final thought, man. First, I got a couple final thoughts. Carolina Panthers, get y'all shit together. Number 2, Dallas ICE shooter, bruh, you failed. Failed the mission. Y'all should just chill out, bruh. Stop trying to like shoot at ICE officers. Like, it's not gonna work. You're not gonna beat the government. And my last final thought. Shit was about to get real, bro. Had IEDs. With this breaking news story out of wasn't it Michigan?
Yeah.
Again, Michigan. What the fuck is going on with y'all, bro? Like, you letting these Muslims come in, take over your state. Your damn governor Tim Walsh be capping. Ah man, Michigan, get it together.
You already know, man. It's the final thought. Hey, my final thought is, man, hey, just keep your head on the swivel and keep, as a Christian man, do not get moved by things that goes on in the earth. Keep praying. Also, get your conceal, because at any moment, you don't know when your life will be threatened. So, no weapon formed shall prosper. But other than that, next week, y'all, we'll see you.